Hey there, Minecraft enthusiasts. Welcome back to DrakenGameWerks. Today we have a fascinating topic to dive into, the SMP dilemma. Should you focus on a single SMP or embark on multiple server adventures? I'm here to help you navigate this decision in our Small Content Creator SMP Advice, Episode 5. In the early days, joining multiple SMPs was often frowned upon, but times have changed a lot in the last couple of years, and we see more and more of our friends being involved in more than one server, and quite often like 3 or 4 servers at a time. So let's explore the pros and cons of being on multiple SMPs and find out if it's the right move for you. First things first, ask yourself, do you have the time? Balancing content creation can be challenging, so if you struggle with just one SMP, it might not be the right time to add another. I did mention back in my first episode about how we shouldn't be trying to push ourselves too far to be as higher quality and quantity as bigger servers like Hermitcraft. So if you're going to do more than one server and you're having trouble getting the time that you need to do what you need to do on a single server, it's going to be a bit more problematic adding an extra, and your answer to this question should already be no. Being torn between multiple SMPs can affect your content quality and the time you spend within each community. Remember, it's essential to respect your server mates on each of the servers and not to spread yourself too thinly between all these various different SMPs. However, if you have the spare time and energy, there are several advantages to exploring multiple SMPs. First of all, it allows you to experience different types of gameplay and styles within the Minecraft worlds. You could be on one server that's just a vanilla style server and another that is a modded server. And of course, there are many different types of modded servers out there, so each one could be quite a unique experience. And let's not forget that some servers have very different types of rules to do with lore and to do with the way that you interact, and you can experience all these different ones across multiple different servers that you might not be able to do if you were just experiencing it on one server. You'll also broaden your inspiration and learn from various SMPs discovering unique building techniques and also problem-solving methods from even behind the scenes. Though yes, we can be inspired by watching other people's videos and the builds they do, and you take that back for our own inspiration, being there in the midst of it can be really beneficial for your own inspiration. And also don't forget, as I was saying, with regards to the problem-solving side, if you are on an SMP that's struggling about how to solve some of the nuances of how to run an SMP server, and another server that you're part of has a great idea, there's no reason you can't share that and help all of the SMPs that you're involved with to become that little bit better. Playing with a larger group of friends also expands your network within the community, helping you to foster new connections and collaborations, and also it enables you to start playing with people who may not be on the same server as you but are already friends from other places. You can even recommend talented content creators of other SMPs that you're a part of to some of the other SMPs. We've been talking about recruitment in the last couple of videos, and this is a good way to check out people who might be a good fit for your server if they too have the time and energy to be on multiple servers. And of course, there is one of the big advantages of playing on multiple servers, and that is that you're exposing your content to much larger audiences. Each server will have its own dedicated fan base, so being on several SMPs means your potential audience multiplies quite considerably. However, this is a little bit of a tricky subject that you've got to be a little bit careful about, because nobody likes to think that someone is just joining their servers just to gain access to their fan base and grow it more. But at the same time, we shouldn't be so precious about our fan bases to think that our fan base should only exist within our servers. Think of it like music. Fans appreciate multiple bands within a genre, and the same goes for SMPs. People who like Minecraft SMPs. They may have several favorites, but they will probably appreciate multiple. So we shouldn't fear sharing fan bases, because when we support each other, the entire small content creator community thrives. If you have people playing on your server who are involved in multiple other servers, think about it this way, that when people discover their content and then they put up a video on your server, they are bringing fans into your server. But likewise, they're exposing your fans to the other servers as well. We get a much larger shared community amongst the fans, rather than sitting here and jealously guarding the fans we got and saying, no one else can have these fans. That's not how it works in music, and it's certainly not how it should be working amongst the gaming community. Of course, there are drawbacks to consider. Time becomes a precious resource when split between servers, making it challenging to stay equally involved within each community. You'll be less involved with each of the servers that you're involved in, if you do focus a bit more on one server over others, then some may begin to resent the time you're spending in other servers and almost feel like you're neglecting the servers that they're a part of, and this can cause a little bit of contention within the communities that you're involved with, so you have to be very careful about how you manage that. Conflicts and event timings can also arise, and you may find yourself missing out on activities, leading to some server mates to question your commitment. It would be lovely in the long run if somewhere we could have a calendar that just showed when every single SMP out there was planning their stream days or their mini game days and various event days, so that other servers can plan their times accordingly and make it much easier for those who jump between servers. However, I do believe that no server should be dictating what another server does or when they do things, and it is inevitable that if you're on multiple servers, there will be clashes of events, and you will miss out on some events just purely on the basis of the fact that you have too much choice. The other thing to be considerate of is, though you may end up with a much larger audience because you're across multiple servers, that you may find that some of that audience are only following you for that particular server. This can actually have quite a negative impact on your videos and their ratings, because people won't be as tuned in or as attached to some of the content that you're doing. So though you may have several thousand followers out of the background of this, or gain a larger audience out of the background of this, you may find some people will not be following you for the whole lot, and they may even drop off in the long run. So that is also something to consider. And let's not forget that if you are managing multiple projects, it can become overwhelming if you're not careful. If you have multiple projects on one server, that's one thing, but when you've got multiple projects on multiple servers, the number of projects you're trying to juggle and trying to complete in various different timelines is going to become very, very difficult to manage indeed. You also need to remember that you're going to have to keep storylines straight across several different servers, and also that different servers will have different rules, and you're going to have to remember what those rules are for each of the servers you're on. The more servers that you're involved with, the more rules and storylines there are to keep straight. It's crucial to address server-specific issues within the appropriate communities, and it's important to avoid leaving people feeling left out when you're involved in multiple servers. This could be applicable to things like inside jokes, which, if there are several of you who share the same multiple servers, may have inside jokes from one server, but to remember that other servers you're involved with may not necessarily know what that inside joke is. Don't forget, every server also experiences issues, and they have problems that they need to deal with behind the scenes. It can be very tempting to talk about the dramas that are going on behind the scenes from one server in the channels of other servers that you're involved with, but please be respectful as well, and remember to keep these as detached as you can be. Some people may not appreciate you spilling the beans, so to speak, on the things that they are saying in other Discord channels that are behind the closed doors of that Discord channel in other Discords. And also, if one of your driving motivations is just that you want to try a different build project, or to try building in a different style, and you just need a little bit more variety than you're getting on the SMP at the moment, you often won't actually need to join another SMP. You can always go to a different area inside of the one SMP that you're on and start something new elsewhere in the same world. While growing your audience across multiple SMPs is exciting, it's essential to avoid appearing as though you are glory hunting. Balance your commitment and efforts among all the servers that you are part of. Nobody wants to feel like there are members on their server who are purely there just to take audience from them and just gain that extra bit of audience because they're there. They want you guys to be there, to be a part of their community, and to be in and amongst everything that they are doing. And this includes not expecting your server mates across various servers to prop up your server hopping, so to speak. You should still be prepared to do all the hard work of the mining, the farming, etc., and everything that you would have to do if you were just one person on one server. You would also have to do these across multiple servers. Don't just jump in at the end and expect everyone else to have done all the hard work for you and that you can just come in and just build a build at the end. You still need to have that time, and you need to take that into consideration for your time commitments that you're giving to each server. But if you're really bitten with the idea of having multiple SMPs, but you're not quite sure if you've got the time to commit to it all, there are a couple of extra options that you might want to consider. The first is short-run SMPs. These are SMPs where the seasons run for a very short period of time. They might run for only like a couple of months at a time, or it might be on just one day of the week that they are put on in line. Things like the new Last Life series that was brought out by Grion and has now been sort of mimicked and replicated by numerous other smaller SMPs since. These are great because it's only taking you out from a short time from your main SMPs, while also giving you that little bit of variety, the chance to interact with others and network with others without taking you away completely. Another option, if you are approached and invited to servers, or you're thinking about applying to other servers but not sure if you've quite got the time to commit to being a full member, is to find out if the servers that you're interested in have things like cameo roles or guest roles. The idea of these sort of cameo roles and guest roles is that you can come in without the same level of commitment, that your expectation is that you're only going to be there every now and then, you're not going to produce the same level of content as is expected by the normal members who are part of the regular running of it. You won't have probably as much input on the server, but it still allows you to interact with these people at a much more leisurely pace without putting too much constraint on your time. To wrap it up, it all comes down to what feels right for you, whether you choose to focus on a single SMP or explore multiple servers. Understanding and supporting others' choice is crucial, and no matter what way you decide for yourself, it's worth bearing in mind both the pros and cons and how it impacts your own growth and impacts those who are around you. Remember, Minecraft is about building communities, both in-game and within the content creator space. So let's foster a supportive environment where everyone can thrive, whether that's encouraging the actual community to thrive inside of a single SMP, or whether it's encouraging the community to grow across multiple SMPs. And before I go, I just want to hear from you. Have you had any experience being on multiple SMPs? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear whether you've had good times with it or bad times with it, what you found was to be the advantages and what you like about being on multiple SMPs, and also what you found difficult about being on multiple SMPs. And hopefully your comments will also help guide others in their own choices if they're thinking about and deciding about whether to be on more than one SMP. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the channel for more Minecraft content. Thank you all for joining me in this episode of Small Content Creator SMP Advice. Remember, whether you choose to stick to one SMP or explore multiple SMPs, do what feels right for you. Until next time, happy crafting!